leaders. And the first one in agile leadership is about being better all the time. I don't think any educational advisor or analyst would ever turn up to Ontario and say, this is a system that needs to be fixed. But you see, the best systems always look to get better. The best sports teams, the best hockey teams, the best teams are always asking themselves, yes, we've come this far, but where's next? What are the next horizons we need to push ourselves in? And so I suggest as leaders today have discussions at tables, over coffee together. Ask each other, how do we keep getting better all the time? How do we take the strengths of what we've done up until now, but ask the new questions of what we need to do next? The second frame I want to suggest is about radical incrementalism. And this is a term that I think I'm trying to use more and more to really push back on the people that tell us that the future of learning is about disruptive innovation. It's about leaving behind the old models of education and moving into some bold new way of doing things that looks very different to what we've done before. But as you have this renewed vision of education, renewed vision for learning across this wonderful province, let me suggest to you that you first honour the past. That you acknowledge that the work that's been done, particularly since the last wave of reforms, has been truly remarkable. And in fact, there's a huge amount there that isn't going to be lost. It isn't going to be thrown out. In fact, we want to take it and build on it in this next phase. I want you to think about a personal question for me. What was the first car you ever owned? Was it in the 60s? Was it in the 70s? Was it the 80s? And what were the features you were most proud about? The things that you paid extra money for or that you told your friends you had on it. Now think about the car that you've recently bought, maybe the last few years or so, and the features that you expect to have just absolutely fit on that car. You wouldn't ever contemplate paying extra money for it. See, think about the journey cars have gone on in the last 30, 40 years. As car designers have always kept the things that are working well, but every year, every model found new and different ways to make it more personal, make it more human, make it a better experience for drivers. And I actually think it's the right metaphor for those of us in education. As we head off in this renewed vision, it's very important for us to consider how we can honour the past, how we can be very clear about the things that aren't going to change, but at the same time have a radical new vision for where learning must go, a compelling learning future. And for me, that's a vision of radical incrementalism. Radical in the new learning pedagogies that we're going to have, but incremental, and we're going to take our systems on a journey to get there.